Welcome to Absurdly Nerd Daily. We want to talk about the Mortal Kombat 1 reveal and everything surrounding it. So, that release date, I want to start out with that.
Yeah.
Because that's all I can think about. This game is coming out this year in September. We've gotten a lot of hints towards that along the way, but it still shocked me.
I think August. August at the end of August would have been perfect. But it's just scary that knowing that Spider-Man 2 potentially they don't have a release date yet.
Most likely,
probably be this week that we're talking about it. But
that's how it always goes.
Starfield is September or November.
No, it's September.
September, and then this. So I mean, it's a packed month. But I'm excited to see this and it coming out in the same year, not have all that hype build up and then get deflated a little bit.
Yeah. I think the release date concerns me more than it does the audience there. I understand why they did that because fighting games are niche and those people are going to buy it and play it regardless of what else comes out. Mortal Kombat of all fighting games appeals to a larger audience. I feel like it's the one that sells the most every time. And so releasing it in between, those are exclusives. Don't get me wrong. There's other things that we know will be in September. Maybe they move because of those 3 games being there. But I'm going to have a hard time finding time for those 2 games as it is. So me personally, I would rather it have been either like they normally do, spring. Or, the month before. Because August would have been great. There's a couple things, but that would have been the big game for me. I'm still not mad because I'm glad to get it this year. And I'll still pick it up. And, it'll be a good, respite away from these big games. But I feel like when you look at the fighting game schedule this year, they nailed it on Street Fighter. Yes, we have Diablo and everything, but those are
very different.
Very different. And also, you got time to play those before the fall season of games starts happening.
Because say you didn't pick up Tears of the Kingdom, Diablo is going to be your big summer game, but there's Street Fighter there too. If you can jump, those are easy to jump back and forth to.
Right. Yeah.
But I would say Mortal Kombat and then Spider-Man and Starfield. Starfield's going to be a huge game, and Mortal Kombat is a not a big game, but a time-consuming game.
For sure, yeah. If you really want to delve into the unlocking everything and stuff, because I spent a lot of time on 11, and it launched at the perfect time.
Yeah,
I don't remember
April.
Yeah, and that was my summer was playing Mortal Kombat basically. It would have been nice to have that. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But maybe what they did here is we don't know when Tekken 8 comes out. I don't think it's going to be before that. And I think
that's another one we may know this week.
So, I think so. And I don't think it's this year.
No, I think it's early next year.
Yeah. And I think that may have influenced why Mortal Kombat, why NetherRealm decided to get out ahead of it.
What I do like is there's no competition between, not really, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. These two, I think they're spaced out enough.
I think the spacing will end up well between the fighting games. Everybody's like, oh, it's so packed. I think they can all thrive within 4 months of each other. We'll be fine. And my prime people for the other fighting games, if Street Fighter 6 comes out and does well, it could boost the player count of fighting games. And because I feel like that is such a niche generally. And maybe this being such a Street Fighter usually is the one that can get people pulled in. It's more casual, and Mortal Kombat's gotten that way too. Tekken would be the one, if you love both of those games, you jump into that one and you're in a more serious fighting game in terms of the mechanics of it.
I feel like the NetherRealm games have been really pulling people in with story mode too, though. A lot of people will pick this up just to play the newest Mortal Kombat story, whereas I feel like Street Fighter is more of that fighting community.
Yeah, there's a little bit of story with each character that you go through.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be, at least. I don't know how they'll do this one, but it's not why you're playing it. It's more just the levels and the combat itself. Mortal Kombat is more of a mainstream design of a game, with actually having a plot you're going through, cutscenes and everything. Which one are you the most excited for? I think I know the answer.
Mortal Kombat.
I figured. Yeah. I am, but also having 11 and spending so much time with it, I'm like, this better be so different.
Which I guess we can talk about the trailer too.
Yeah,
the new design of the trailer, the character models and stuff.
Yeah, it did it for me.
If it looks half this good, then I'm impressed.
Yeah, I like the way they went with the art style and everything. I just wonder, will the gameplay
hold up or be different enough?
Right, as different as it is looking, will it play that differently?
Yeah,
because 11 played a ton different from 10, and I think it was for the better. But I don't want to just go back to 11 again. I want this to be different.
I want this to restart this franchise on a whole new path.
Yeah.
I want this to be the starting point for everything that comes after this. Like Mortal Kombat, if they go Mortal Kombat 2, like I want this to be the new foundation.
And leave time alone.
Yeah, Well, if you do it, wait till way later again. Because
that's what they did pretty good here.
I mean, I understand why I did it, because the follow up to the end of 11, like that's hard to do when you go that big and that crazy. It's like you got to bring it back down.
Yeah. Normally I wouldn't like the Mortal Kombat 1 thing, but they had to, because this would have been the third Mortal Kombat if they just rebooted it as Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, it was just 9 that was just Mortal
I'm excited
Kombat.
for the potential of older characters coming back in new designs, and like having just that bare bones kind of combat story, like the tournament story. I hope that's what we get out of this. Is like,
but I also hope that it's like a lot of new characters. Not all, but I want it to be 50-50 new characters to old. Yeah. And there's some that are going to piss people off that they're not going to be there, but it's going to be okay. Yeah. It's going to be all right if they leave out, I don't want to say Baraka. I want Baraka to be there. But I don't know, even some of these could be DLC, and people might be a little jaded by that. But if they launch with 20 characters and 10 of them are brand new, I'll be more excited than if 15 were old characters.
I think eventually you have to start getting new characters that people, new favorites. You need new favorites.
Yeah. Because I think they did pretty good. Like Kotal Khan was cool in 11.
Yeah. Kotal Khan.
Any other ones? Like he's referenced
10.
Was he playable in 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so. But 10 did a lot. A lot of
I say 10 was what you're talking about. I think there was more new characters in 10.
I think so. And that may have been a little much for me personally. So like it's like a sweet spot for me. Like I said, 50-50 would be good with me.
Do you think this roster will be as big as the last few have been, or do you think they scale it back and start growing with,
Well, I think 11 was able to be as big as it was because of all the old characters. Like you didn't have to come up with a whole bunch of different designs. So I'm not going to be mad if it's not that big. Some people are like, whenever Armageddon came out and it was so big, the game was a little more simplistic because of it. Like that's also a negative people need to consider. And then the next game, I can't remember what that would have been. Was it 9 after Armageddon?
Maybe
9
is when I really got back into it,
and it was the better game than Armageddon. But Armageddon had way more content, quote unquote, on face value. But you got to consider the fighting mechanics and the depth of a character is content. So if you have one character that's way more deep and fleshed out, then I prefer that to having a bunch of characters that are similar, which is really the biggest problem with some of the older Mortal Kombats. I don't think there's ever been a bad Mortal Kombat other than like Shaolin Monks, which wasn't really a Mortal Kombat.
My least favorite is the Mortal Kombat versus DC universe.
Yeah, that one doesn't even feel like a Mortal Kombat game.
I just hate the way that game plays, but
they should have just gave them the green light to be M-rated. Like it should have just had blood and everything.
But I'm excited. I mean, Netherrealm excites me. Like the way they do their games, I'm always pleased with how they. The last Injustice 2, the last few Mortal Kombats have been good. The one that I like the least is X, and I still found fun in it.
Yeah, it's still good. It's just it was abrasive going from 9 to X, where it was like the combos were so slow and hard to figure out. At the time, I got better at it, but 9 was very fluid.
I just hope there's reasons to keep going back to this one. Like unlockables. That you gotta have the gear, like the. Yeah. I think that's good systems that need to go forward of customizing your fighter to be yours, because once you play through the story, and it's like, I need reasons. Like, I'm not the online fighter guy at all.
I hope the gear is similar. But the thing about NetherRealm and Mortal Kombat is, this is another Mortal Kombat, but it's not just that. They never just do the same thing, but another story. Like, it's always feels different. It's kind of like Final Fantasy, where things are, shifted, and the mechanics and the modes are, fresh. I love the crypt in 11. I don't think they should do a spin on that, not have it feel exactly the same. But I love the exploring it in third person. So it's like a little bit of a caveat that I don't want to lose these things, but at the same time, I want to see them do something new. Yeah. So, and you can only do so much, so you can't expect everything to come back plus more.
I think the crypt is popular, like the way they've stepped it up from. Since they took 9, 10,
For a while they kind of forgot about it.
Yeah. Like, 9 it was just like you go and it's gravestones and you unlock each one. Like it was kind of interactive.
It wasn't third person, was it? Like it was just clicking around. Yeah. That's how it was like back in the Deception and Deadly Alliance days, which I liked it a lot at the time. It was really
there's parts of probably 11's crypt I never saw.
Yeah. Do you remember when they had like a Bubble Breaker puzzle game? Or it may not have been Bubble Breaker. It might have been
They
like
had
Tetris.
kart racing in one of them.
Yeah. Dude, they used to do some crazy. I hope they do a little bit of that zaniness. It's gotten more serious lately, but I would like to see like some special modes.
It's very serious, but then they're not afraid to get silly with their like 80s cameo, like the Rambo and like all that stuff. Was like he's just a pile of leaves and he rises up. Like it's.
Who would have thought we'd see Stallone? Like I would.
Do you have any pitches for DLC? I know there's a few leaks and stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the leaks. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that, and I'll think about some that I might want to see.
Yeah, Homelander is one of the like perfect for this world.
From the boys,
Omni-Man from Invincible.
Yeah, that's great too. They're kind of the same guy in a lot of ways, you know.
Peacemaker.
Perfect.
Yeah, I hope it's John Cena. I hope it's like that.
Oh, I mean, their track record makes me think it will be. Yeah.
I think Quan Chi is like another DLC character. Like
they need to bring him back. If you're gonna do that, do it with a character that's been gone for. I
feel like he hasn't been in it in the last few.
The last one I remember is Deadly Alliance.
Well, he's an X, I think.
Yeah, you're right. So it's
but I don't think he's in 11 at all. Like not playable.
No, he's not in that one.
I can't remember the other one, but
I mean, the fact
as far as like pop icons DLC, who would you? Is there any off the top of your head?
We've already gotten Predator, didn't we? We got Alien and Predator in that one. I don't know. I have a hard time. They've already done so many, you know. And if you consider Injustice DLC too,
I got one. Yeah, and it's because they're Warner Brothers and all that. Yeah, Pennywise would be cool.
Oh, that'd be wild. Yeah,
because they have that track record of horror icons. You know.
Yeah,
I think like he would be a good fit, and it's one they already kind of own. So
yeah, give me Freddy Fazbear.
See, that would be like I love the ones that are out there.
Yeah, I mean they've done it just as crazy as
like
Freddy.
Alien being there fighting.
That was an Injustice too.
That's
a
cool.
Great one too,
and it's because they own like that Warner Brothers thing. So,
Hellboy they don't own, and that was a great crossover too. But yeah, what were we at?
You're at 13 minutes. We're gonna talk about Liu Kang as the fire god.
Yeah, let's talk about some story stuff.
Yeah. Loved how the trailer did that whole Scorpion and Sub-Zero facing off, and then they kind of like teamed up a little bit.
Yeah,
I love the new direction of stuff, like twist on old things that we know.
Yeah,
but if you don't know them, you don't expect it. I mean, you're not missing out.
Right. But seeing Liu Kang come through that portal, I'm wondering how like new characters are going to be involved if it's him going back in time to do all that. Is he going to be the new Raiden? That's another question I have.
Pretty much. I mean, he feels like he will be.
Yeah. So is Raiden going to be in it? Because they didn't see him. So I don't.
And
think
they say that what's the guy that throws the hat?
Kung Lao. Yeah.
That's not. It's an ancestor of Kung
Lao. Oh, okay. Dang, how far?
It's the one that died. I think the one that fought Goro in the original tournament. And,
okay, man. Yes. Okay, that gives me an idea. Maybe they're doing this also they can reset it to actually be a tournament, which is what Mortal Kombat was.
I want this to be a tournament at the end of this. Like, even if it's the end or whatever, I want a tournament in this game because that's what this is. That's how it needs to start.
This is what the MCU needs to do. They need to reset it so we can, get back to the grounds of what it is.
Do we get Goro?
I think so because he's a core part of the tournament.
Yeah.
And I would love to just see the original premise of the game brought to life here. That makes sense. It's Mortal Kombat 1. Why haven't I thought of this already? That's what they want to do. And they don't even need to reference the cataclysmic stuff. Like Liu Kang can just be like, hey, shit was fucked up. We're not going to talk about it and just go on with what we're doing.
There's one thing I was going to talk about. The cameo fighters. Have you seen that? The article about that? It's like they jump in to do an attack or something. Yeah. And so they're not like playable, but they're in the game.
So it's like Marvel versus Capcom type
thing? A little bit, I think.
In theory, I don't like it, but I'll see what... I mean, I trust NetherRealm to make those types of things work.
I want to say that's what it was.
Think about the interactive environment, how much of that was in the gameplay.
You can throw a whole lady at somebody.
Yeah. So if that's basically what it is, like every so often you get to pop them in. If it kind of replaces the... when the health bar gets a certain amount, then you can use it, that kind of thing. I don't even want it to act that way. Honestly, that was kind of an annoying feature to me in 11.
That's the only time you use your special,
like when it gets down there, then you both bumpers and it does it. It's like it's fine. It just every round kind of played out with you finishing with that pretty much. Yeah. I think this game's going to up the ante when it comes to the gore, which how can you? But also it looks so much more next gen. Like 11 wasn't, but it ended up being after
which is crazy that like they try to get these games banned and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day when fatalities were like turn it like electric shocks and you see a skeleton or like they pull your spine, like it's nothing like it is now. It's so gory now.
No one had seen anything like that though.
No,
like,
yeah, it's true.
Like there were no cartoons really that you were seeing people rip spines out of people, even if it's just digitized blood. Like it was still a lot. But yeah, nowadays I'm like, this is pushing M rating, like even in 11, and I imagine this is going to be even more so. The only issue I have with the rebooting and the way they're doing it, I'm okay with it. I'm not saying it's a problem. Is what about going back in time is making everyone look different? You know, it looked like a different person.
I think it's gonna be. I think he's going to a different timeline.
I guess so, but like all of a sudden, Sub-Zero and Scorpion are not the same actor.
That's the new craze is variants. So
yeah,
this is the variant Mortal Kombat universe.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's just one of those don't think about it things, I guess. Because like
now they have the ability to make them look really realistic and dope. They're like,
we're gonna do what we want to do. But Shang Tsung has always been that guy.
I like him as an old man. And in Mortal Kombat 9, I think one of the skins you can like was like the old 90-something-year-old.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah,
like, and that's the style I like.
I like it too.
Because I always think of him being the old emperor-looking guy on the throne, like watching the combat and stuff.
At least he doesn't look like the movie. Fred Armisen played him. He didn't, but I swear if you go watch that movie, it looks like Fred Armisen.
The new
movie. Yeah. And when I saw that first, I was like, this isn't that bad. But
it's gotten worse.
Yeah, in my mind, it's gotten worse to the point I think the original Mortal Kombat is better than the newest Mortal Kombat.
I know the original Mortal Kombat is a better movie.
It's still better than the second one. I still like the second one because I was a kid and I liked it then. But it's definitely better than the second one. But the first one to me is like just, that's Mortal Kombat to me. This one feels like, I don't know, a cheap ripoff.
Yeah.
Like not cheap. Like they put money in it. I don't know. Some people really like that movie. I can't get excited for the second one.
So you don't want the skins from the movie in this?
Oh God, no! Please don't do that. They will.
Do you want what was his name? Cole. What's his last name?
What if he's DLC?
What if he's the training guy that you use all the fatalities and stuff on?
That no, I'm on board with that. Yeah, they pull him in. Do you think there will be any crossover other than maybe skins? Like, do you think they will do some plot lines crossing over between this and the movie?
So. I think they'll stay away. I think they'll be two separate.
I think Netherrealm's like, nah, bro, we didn't bargain for that.
Yeah.
I hope not. Do you think we'll see the movie when they show this again? Like when they show a full length reveal of this game, do you think they'll talk about Mortal Kombat 2?
I think they will. I think it's good. I don't know if it may be too early for trailers and stuff, but I think we're going to get gameplay for this at Summer's Game Fest. I'm sure. I mean, you got a few months to set up hype and reveal the characters, but I want to see all the character models, and I want to see this game in action.
That's what I want. That's honestly,
it's almost to the point where I want to pre-order it so I can play the beta.
Yeah, as far as the reveal, it was a really good cinematic trailer, but there's so many questions in my head.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, this game's come out in September, and I was a little bothered by the fact that they just did a cinematic.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's going to be at Summer Games Fest, but like, if it's that close, then maybe just wait and show this, and then do some gameplay.
Leading into gameplay.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I would have been happier with that. They can do it however they want, but you know.
This is just how I visit like Summer Games Fest. You show like this is the big pop moment of like holy shit, there's a new Mortal Kombat, and then it's like and now here's gameplay,
right?
Like and it just shows Sub-Zero, Scorpion, so you don't have to even reveal who because you know those two are in it.
Yeah,
let them show you like everything new, how it looks, how it fights, like the cameo things that people are talking about after the characters jumping in. I want to know how all this works.
Yep.
That builds hype more than this cinematic.
Right. That would have made the September date feel better to me because I'm like, okay, it makes
this game is far along enough to
right. Date, yeah. I mean, I know it is. It's Netherrealm. I trust them. They've kind of earned that, you know, benefit of the doubt. But like, a part of me is like, if they're not showing gameplay right now, is it not very different? Like, are they afraid to show it because it's kind of Mortal Kombat 11, the sequel? But I don't think that's what it would be, but potentially. But yeah, we're super excited for this. Super excited to see what the gameplay looks like, and also excited for fighting games in general. Like this genre needs to get that boost. That seems
this is going to be a big year for fighting games.
Yeah,
going like I think in next year a little bit too.
Yeah, the fiscal year between April.
Tekken 8 probably next year, and then what's the other one that's kind of like.
I don't know. Is there
there's another one that everybody talks about.
Well, I think a Guilty Gear or not Dead or Alive.
I'll look at it. It's
Virtua Fighter.
It ain't that one. I think that's dead. That's Sega, right?
Yeah, but no, that was like one of the biggest ones back in the day. Honestly, like people say that was the
I had a
first
few of them.
realistic fighter.
I think I had a few of them. Yeah.
Really, I didn't hate it. It was just like stale compared to Tekken. Soul Calibur's so good. I want a new one, but a better one. I didn't like the last one. But anyway, we're excited. We want to know if you're excited. Want to know who would you like to see? Like a DLC character would be your dream character. Who'd be wild and zany? But until next time, stay nerdy.